Hi everyone, it's me, Valerie from Stampin' with Valerie, and I just want to say hi. Welcome to my Mary Moose tea sleeves video. I'm trying to get it to pull up on my page here. There we go. Because I just want to make sure I can see everything and know that you all are able to see everything that I'm doing as well. So this blog post is specifically for a blog hop that I'm in. And I thought, what can I do that's going to be fun for everyone? And so I went back into my previous blogs and I looked to see what was popular with my subscribers and viewers. So what I found was I had done a card with Mary Moose and everyone really loved that one, and I had made some tea sleeves. And so I am going to make some Mary Moose tea sleeves today. So I hope you enjoy it. And when you're done watching mine, click on the link at the bottom of my blog, or I'm not sure exactly where it's going to be, but somewhere at the bottom of my blog, and go to the next blog and see what they're making. So, all right, I'm going to set the stamp set aside and just get started. So we will start with some soft suede cardstock and our moose stamp. And as you can see, I've already used them. I didn't clean him because I was like, what is the point? I'm just going to stamp with him again. So I'm going to use some early espresso ink. I need to lock that in or it's going to keep bobbing on me. There we go. And I'm going to do him, I think I can fit him on here 4 times. If not, I'll grab another sheet of soft suede and we'll get some more. But I think I can get him on here 4 times. Because I'm going to show you 4 little variations for the tea sleeves. So do you have this set? Have you used this set? What do you think? I love this moose. I don't know why. I never thought I would love a moose. And to have a moose punch, how fun is that? Once you get them stamped, just go ahead and punch all 4 of them out. And you can make as many in it or as few of these little tea sleeves as you want. Now I think these are perfect to give away to teachers, give away to coaches. You can mail them. They will fit inside, you know, a card. It will cost you extra postage, obviously, but how fun would that be just to receive something like that in a card from someone? So once you get your 4 moose punched, then you're gonna get some cardstock and designer series paper, designer series paper. And I used some of the brightly gleaming, I believe is what it's called. Yes, brightly gleaming designer series paper, and I guess I have more than enough here. So we're just going to use these 4, and we will just flip them over and use the back side of each one. So what we're going to need is we are going to use the trimmer. And this is the new paper trimmer, which is not available yet for customers, but it is available if you are a demonstrator. And we're going to score it. So we're going to score each piece at 1 1/2 and at 4 1/8. So we've got 4 of them to score. We'll just quickly do that. Sometimes I think it's good if I just repeat it and do it a couple of times so you can see, and then it's fresh in your mind when you're doing it on your own. 1 1/2. 4 1/8, and then I have all the measurements are written on my blog, so you have all those measurements written down too, so you can follow that way. But there are going to be a couple little bonuses at the end of the video that are not in the measurements, so I hope you watch the video all the way. I love the patterns that are on this brightly gleaming paper. I don't know about you, but I think they're fantastic. I love the copper. I love the greens and the blues, and it just all looks fantastic together. So once you've got them all scored, just go ahead and put your trimmer aside, and we will start by just folding them all on the score lines. Just fold them all on their score lines and flip them over because we're going to go ahead and adhere them. Now you can use Tombow glue, you can use tear and tape, you could use snail adhesive, which is what I am going to use. And I did not score this one properly or something. It's not right. Let me look at this one more time. Let me check it. 1 1/2. That's where I did it. I did it at 1 1/4. That's all right. I just went ahead and gave it another score line real quick. And so now it's right. And I can tell once I fold it whether it's right or not because it will overlap a little bit. So I'm going to use snail adhesive, and what I do is I fold down, because one of these is a little bit wider than the other. So fold down the shorter side, run some snail adhesive on that side, and then run some snail adhesive on this side of the larger side. That way when it folds, you've got it sealed at this end and at this end of where the paper was cut. So you don't have anything moving around on the inside there. And do the same with your other 3 pieces. And like I said, make as many or as few as you want. They're super quick to make. And like I said, I am going to hand them out. I'm actually going to hand them out to cashiers, to people at the post office as just little thank you, appreciate everything you do. And I will tell you what, you will not believe the smiles on their faces when they see that you have made something and given it to them. I mean, everyone loves to get something, let's be honest, but in their professions, and anybody in retail or any profession, really, service retail at all, they don't get thanked enough. People just take them for granted. So I think it's just nice to be able to say thank you. So we've got some little strips of real red cardstock and some strips of old olive. And what we're going to do with those is we're going to put our sentiments. And now I did the sentiments in Memento ink, and I took sentiments from the Merry Moose stamp set. This one is Have a Cozy Christmas. And you're going to want to stamp it a little bit closer toward the left end, because we're going to be punching a hole in this right end. And they don't have to be perfect. I mean, because once you see what we're doing, you'll know it doesn't have to be completely centered. And then we're also going to do a Merry Christmas, which I think is really cute. And we've all seen that before on other cards and things, Merry Christmas with a moose on there. But it's fun now that we can stamp it with our stamp set. Now we're going to take a punch. And this is not a punch that Stampin' Up! Sells. It's just a generic punch that I bought. And just punch a hole. So you're going to put a hole in each one of these. I mean, you don't want to go over your sentiment, but it doesn't have to be any certain distance in. And then just take your little ends and snip them, because you want to make it into a banner tag. Then you're going to snip the other end into a little banner. So you're going to snip all 4 to have that little banner. And now when I was choosing colors, I had started, and when I show you some of my other things at the end of this video, you'll see I started with just real red. I hadn't put in the old olive, and then I decided, oh man, before I do the video, I need to cut some in old olive because I think those would be really pretty with these as well. There's that whole traditional red and green Christmas. And as you can see, that one little tag there, I didn't quite get even. That's all right if they're not 100% perfect, because you're just snipping them by hand, and these are handmade gifts, so it's okay. So the next thing you want to do is take some Whisper White Baker's Twine. What's beautiful about this paper I have in front of me is you can measure it, so it's about almost 5 inches long. Doesn't have to be that long, and we're going to be snipping it off anyway, but we'll just go with about 5 inches. Now this is old olive. And then I'm going to snip one more of those. Every time I try to snip with the end of these, it's not quite good enough for Baker's Twine. And then I have some Mossy Meadow linen thread that comes with the Merry Magnolia or Magnolia Lane ribbon. And of course I can't see it now that I'm sitting here, and it's right in front of me. Now this is a little bit darker. This is Mossy Meadow, and it's a little bit thinner than the baker's twine because it's linen thread. But I just wanted to show you how pretty it looked with this as well, because it goes really well with this real red. So we're gonna thread it through, and you're gonna just leave that loop through, and you're gonna go from the back to the front. I'm gonna set these other ones aside. Then we're gonna take this first mousse, and we're gonna lay it down so the thread is coming around his neck here, the loose ends. And then you have the loop here. And I hope you can see, we're gonna just take those ends and push them right through that loop. We want that tag kind of flying behind him, like this is tied as a scarf around his neck and that tag is tied to it. So once you get that tightened, and you don't want to pull too hard or it will rip your mousse, but you want to make sure it's tight enough that it's going to stay. And then we're going to do that with each of these, and we'll use Old Olive with this one. And again, go from back to front with your loop. Super easy. I mean, sometimes it looks like, oh, this is so complicated, I don't want to make it. But then when you see someone make it and do it a couple of times, so you get to see it more than once, and you don't have to stop and rewind, which obviously that's not a huge deal. But now if I can get a hold of both of these ends, lay your mousse down. You've got those ends, put them through your loop. And this loop is a little bit bigger, so that's what I should have done with the last one, is make my loop a little bigger so you could see it better. And now this piece of baker's twine is not quite as long, so I probably won't even have to trim the end of this. I want that coming off toward the back. There's the second one. We'll go with some Whisper White for this one. Now I would tell you, Whisper White is the one that has given me the most problem with this project today. And I don't know why, but whenever I try to loop it and put it through this tiny hole, it wants to separate all the threads, and it's like, I don't want the threads separated, I want them all together. So there we go. There's my loop. Gonna lay our mousse down on it, grab our loose ends, and again, this is a shorter piece as well. We're gonna pull it all the way through. We're gonna try to pull it all the way through that piece. I don't know what is wrong with that piece. I'm gonna get a new one. I think I may have accidentally snipped it when I was trying to snip that other piece of Old Olive, because it was partially snipped in the middle. And then it didn't want to go through. So we'll just do it again. Not a big deal. Gives you a chance to see me do this again. And commit it to memory. Super easy. All right, got our loop. Gonna go through our loop. And then just pull to tighten. There we go. And your ends don't have to be the same length. I think they kind of look cute when they're not the same length. We'll do the same thing with this very last one, and now this is Old Olive linen thread, so it matches our paper on this one, so they're going to be the exact same color, which is still really pretty when it's together. Lace it through. Tighten it up without pulling the loop, as I'm trying to pull the loop and the ends at the same time. Get your little banner so it's going backwards, or I say backwards, but to the back. All right, and then flip all your mousse over. I don't know, are they mousses if there's more than one? I'm not sure. Leave it in the comments and tell me so I know, because I'm not sure. We'll get some regular Stampin' Dimensionals, and the first thing I do is I go right over top of that twine or linen thread. That will hold it in place, and you don't have to worry about it coming untied on your project. Then put one at the end of each banner tag, and then just put one on the body of the mousse. That's it. You don't need any more. I know it kind of looks like a lot for that small of a piece, but you kind of want it standing out and sticking up, so it's good just to do it. Now we're going to get some vellum cardstock, and for 2 of these we are going to punch vellum starbursts. And the ones I want to use the vellum starburst are on is this one with the copper stars and this one with the copper leaves and the holly. And why I want to use it on those ones is just because I like the way you can still see that pattern through that vellum. Now for the other two, we are going to use some copper foil paper just to give them a little bit of sparkle because we use the opposite sides. So we're just going to use some copper foil paper, and you could use champagne, you could use silver, you could use whatever, because this side of the paper doesn't have any shimmer to it, so you could use whatever you want on this side. Now I just like to use a little bit of snail. It doesn't take a lot. And just go ahead and adhere those starbursts down to your T-sleeve. And I don't know why my snail is not rolling very good here. It's a brand new snail. I think I'm just, there we go, there was just a little piece that was stuck. And you can do that with the vellum. It's gonna be covered by the mousse anyway, so they aren't gonna see that little piece. All right, go ahead and remove all the backings from your mousse that we have on these dimensionals. And of course you got quite a few of them. We got 12 here because we got 3 on each mousse. Look at me, I did math. 3 times 4 is 12. Who knew this was educational, right? Get a little bit of math, get a little bit of crafting. All right, we're just gonna add our mousse right to the front of that one. We're gonna add this mousse to the front of this one, and these both say have a cozy Christmas. And then make sure your little tag is stuck down too, and you can kind of move it whichever direction you want it to go. And I kind of like it where it's kind of pointed up into the back. Now look at, I'm sticking this mousse down before I want them to be stuck down. Get this one stuck down onto that copper foil. Now how pretty is that when it's on that copper foil? It's gorgeous, right? I love it. I think it just makes it stand out. It's just really pretty. And I love that green, that old olive green on that copper foil is just amazing. So we've got 4 of those. And now I'm gonna cut this just a little bit because it's a little long on that one. The other ones I think I'll leave. And now, here's where it gets fun. This is where you can embellish them. I cut some snowflakes. You could add a snowflake, a shimmery snowflake, or a copper snowflake, and I cut these using the Feels Like Frost Sweet, those dies. You could add those on there somewhere if you want to. I'm not gonna put any of those on there right now, but I'm going to decorate with these copper stars. And these are the Star Designer elements that are part of the Brightly Gleaming Suite. And I like to put them directly where that, right where you threaded that linen thread or that baker's twine through that loop. And then you can use, if you want, you can use some holiday rhinestone jewels. You could use some real red or red rhinestone jewels as well. I like them all. I'm just gonna put some red ones on here with this, just to give it a little bit of red. And you don't have to put them just on the tags. You can add wherever you want. I'm gonna put one down by his feet there. And then for this one, I like to add some of these beautiful green ones up here, just wherever you want to put them. Now they're not old olive, they are shaded spruce, I believe, but that's okay. It gives that little extra little bling to those. And like I said, you can always put a snowflake somewhere. You can add a snowflake up so it's sticking out, but in a minute I'm going to show you what I did with the snowflakes I had. That's part of my little bonus. So now I got some peppermint teas and some English breakfast teas. Now I buy these from thrivemarket.com. I put that in the blog. I have no affiliation with them. I'm not getting any money for showing you these. The reason I like them is they come in these clear bags, and the tea is really good as well. It's organic. You just slide those in, and as I showed on my last tea sleeve video, which I don't remember what date that was, I'll have to look it up. Most prepackaged teas are this exact same size. So they will slide right into these little tea sleeves perfectly. I love how they slide in perfectly. You don't have to bend them, but it's just enough. If you're a business person, you can put your business card in there. You could slide your business card in. But there we have it. There's some little Mary Moose tea sleeves. Now for the bonus, I'm going to show you some extras that I made and how I did them a little bit different. Now I do not have these measurements written down. I'm going to tell you what they are. So obviously you have to be watching this video if you want to see the bonus. So here are these, the ones we just did on camera. And now I used, this is a little bit bigger. So this is 2.5 inches, and then by 6 inches long. And then you score it just like you do the other. But at the bottom, staple it so it's more like a pocket. So you just slide your tea bag into the pocket. And I pretty much decorated it the same. Now this is just another designer series paper from the Brightly Gleaming set. I guess here's another one. This is pretty much exactly like that one, just with different ribbon. I'm gonna put that to the side since it's the same. And now the next ones I used the Let It Snow designer series paper, and then I used the Pine Tree Punch, and I cut some of those snowflakes from First Frost, added them onto this one. Isn't that pretty with that color? Now, if you can use obviously this one, but also that tag that comes in that peppermint tea matches this pool party almost exactly. And I'm going to show you that in just a second, because I did the same thing with one of the snowmen. I punched out one of these snowmen. Now I will show you the paper that punches out from. I just got to get it out of my pile over here. Now it's this sheet of paper, and it's only this snowman will punch with that punch. Now you can also stamp that snowman from the Let It Snow set and punch him out, but if you want a glittery snowman, it's this snowman right here. The one that doesn't have a hat. He has the little rosy cheeks. He's super cute to punch out. So what I did with that is I took a half of one of the, and let's see where my other half is. Oh shoot, they're doilies, and why I can't think of what they're called right now, pearlized doilies. And then I used to and from the Itty Bitty Christmas stamp set. So this is this stamp set here. It has a lot of cute little sayings, and that's also where I got this Oh What Yum from. And now I did another one with one of the other snowmen. I fussy cut the little snowman out. I did Very Merry. I did the tag a little bit different. I didn't tie it around the snowman's neck. I just kind of put it off to the side. And this is the same measurements as these up here, only these pocket ones are a little bit different. They're 2.5 inches versus the 2 inches. And then I did one with the moose because I thought he would be cute on this side. It's the opposite side of this little snowman. It's just the little pool party with the snow flurries. And then it says again, Merry Christmas. And I did his tag a little bit different. I put it kind of straight back so I could add that snowflake at the top. So there you go. Make some of these cute little tea sleeves, send them off to your friends in their Christmas cards, give them to your kids' teachers, however you want to do it. If you like this video and you do not have a demonstrator and you want to purchase these products, just go to valeriesmith.stampinup.net and click shop now. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.